Welcome to JewishTV.media. Our topic today is going to be suffering and purposes and reasons for suffering. One of the major areas of the experience of Am Yisrael has been the Exodus from Egypt. And the story of the Exodus of Egypt is extremely relevant to us because we are told that to have an understanding of how the ultimate redemption will come, it is dependent upon our understanding the redemption from Egypt, because as we are told, Ki meitzeischo me'eretz Mitzrayim arenu niflois, that Hashem will show us miracles when we exit the Golus, the exile, comparable to the time, to the miracles that occurred in the Exodus from Egypt. Now, how did the Exodus from Egypt take place? Did it take place in an easy fashion, in a simple fashion? The answer is no. It was preceded by a lot of suffering. It was preceded by the Jewish people being enslaved, and enslaved very bitterly, until ultimately Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu that he should come and redeem the Jewish people. So we are told that Hashem came to Paroi and he insisted that Paroi should let the Jewish people go. Shalach ami v'yavduni, let my people go. But Paroi did not listen to the words of Moshe Rabbeinu, and he did not let the people go. So the result of that was that he suffered one plague, he suffered another plague, he suffered many, many plagues. But Moshe Rabbeinu himself, who was a very great Jewish leader, after he initially came to Paroi with a message from Hashem, telling him that he must leave the Jewish people go, Paroi he enslaved them to a much greater extent than it was before. And Moshe, this very great Jewish leader, said to Hashem, I just don't understand you. You, the master, the creator of the world, you who is omnipotent, there's nothing you cannot do. You give me a message to give to Paroi, and I give him over this message. And the purpose of that is to ease the burden of the Jewish people. And ultimately, all that happened was that the burden was increased. And so Moshe complained to Hashem very, very bitterly. Why is it that you have increased their suffering? Why is it that their enslavement has become more serious? Hashem then responded, and he said to him, Moshe, you know, you had the Ovis, we had Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. I did not reveal myself to them with my name Havaya, but to you I will ultimately reveal myself with the name Havaya, and you will then see the redemption. The name Havaya means it's a level of revelation, of godliness, which is the highest level of revelation. And Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu that however great the Ovis, the patriarchs were, they did not merit the revelation of that name of Havaya, that name of Hashem that represents the highest level of revelation. But only you, Moshe, and the Jewish people are going to merit that revelation. So Chassidus explains that the reason for that was because however great a person may be, to achieve the highest level of revelation, there needs to be preparation. And that preparation could be suffering. And that suffering is not seen as something, as a level, a framework of punishment. But that suffering is part of a process of purifying the individual to enable the individual to achieve a level that the highest levels and degrees of revelation should be able to be experienced. And that actually is what happened, that the Jewish people were able to experience the Hisgalus of Shem Havaya, the highest level of revelation, as a consequence of them going through the Kur HaBarzel of Mitzrayim, this iron furnace of Mitzrayim. And this was a very major lesson that Hashem wanted to teach us, that unlike how we would normally be able to perceive things, that when there are levels of suffering that may be considered to be a punishment or something bad, that is not so. Hashem is the essence of goodness. And therefore, if a person does have to experience suffering, a person should realize that Hashem is providing the person with that framework and with that suffering to enable a person to achieve a particular level of goodness and kindness and revelation that he otherwise would not be able to experience. I wish you all a good day.
JewishTV.media